Bezos going in the air.
Yeah.
All right, Balanced Blueprint community. I am blessed and honored that I get to introduce to you two of my favorite people in the entire world that came into my life. And I can't thank them enough for giving me their time. So, both of you, whoever wants to start, can you introduce both of yourselves and give me a quick snapshot of your lives?
Well, I'm Susan Valillo.
I'm Francine Valillo, and
And
we're only what
15 months
15 months apart.
but I'm older, so I'll go first.
I have to listen to her.
Yeah. Most of my experiences in life, I've had over 30 years of experience just basically doing administrative work for high net worth professionals. And it's, not just taking notes, etc. It's, dealing with ordering poop bags for a dog and closing a $15 million home. So it's prepared me for a lot of different background things. I've been retired now 12 years. And during that time, I didn't want to be idle, so we started flipping houses. Both of us were actually travel agents. So in doing that, we still do a lot of traveling, and we plan travel for a lot of our friends. We've had 2 trips now where we've taken 10 people and then 14 people. One to Italy, one to Spain. And, now we're building a house.
Which,
That's me.
so, Fran.
What?
Yeah. All right. So I had a series of jobs, and the best one for me was working as a landscaper on a golf course, and that I loved a lot and still do. And then what else did I do?
Oh, you did internet selling when it was way back in the early days when it was dial-up.
Mm-hmm. I did that.
Yeah.
People
And
watching this, Fran, probably don't know what that is.
what?
Yeah, you're probably right. They're probably too young. She was in a mall kiosk trying to stop people. Here, you want to hear about this? And
Yeah,
what do they know? But that was many years ago. And you've been retired now.
a long
A
time.
long time, about at least 12, 15. She retired before I did because she stayed at home to take care of my mom when she was sick. I was working in Manhattan, so it was very difficult for me to take care of my mom, but she was at retirement age, and she said,
And I was taking care of the cat.
yeah, cat too.
More importantly,
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
and I just want to make it known in case anybody is tuning in later that you two are sisters
Yes.
as well. I know we said age difference, but you two are sisters. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that as well. All right, what is one memory from travel or flipping that each of you want to share?
That what?
That we want to share.
That you want to share?
Well, let's see. There's so many with the travel, but there was the horse
Yeah, she got taken out by a horse while walking.
walking in the streets,
And he just decided to move his head around, and she was at the right height and the right,
knocked me right over.
knocked over. Yeah. There was the time that I had a broken tooth and sprained ankle and had to chase after our driver who was taking us to the airport. He carried our luggage away, and I didn't know what he was doing with it. And because he was stopped at a red light because it was too busy on the street to wait. So we ran after him, and I was saying, Monsieur, what are you doing? And Francine said, what are you worried? It's just dirty underwear. So, yeah, so we do, we've almost had an international incident when a Saudi family decided to join our tour, and he was trying to get the family rate to go up to one of the sites. He says, well, you're all my family. So now we get involved with a Saudi family, and she starts talking to the women in there saying, why are you wearing that? Because she had on the whole thing. Aren't you hot? I said, Francine. So we avoided
You can get out of this set. You don't need
this.
You don't need this.
So and that's when we got the quote. It was like an all-day tour. We got the quote that said, you are traveling alone? And I said, yes. Are you married? No. He says, I know men that would lay with you. I said, well, thank you very much, but I don't. So yeah, we always have travel incidences, and almost had an international.
And I said to the woman with the burqa on, you don't have to wear that. Take that off.
Yeah. So Yeah, so something always happens memorably on our trips.
Always look forward to when I know you guys are going on a trip to make sure
Mhm.
we schedule in time because we need to unpack. There's always something. And I
Oh, yeah.
was hoping that you would share the horse head story because I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
one of my,
Yeah, it was just
I think
a
that's what,
lovely stroll.
Wait, you had the second half of it. She went to a bull ring and did the
Oh, yeah, I was a capiador at a bull ring. So yeah, that was a good one. That was a
we
good
don't
one.
sit and just drink at a bar. We go places.
needless to say, the adventurers. So,
Yes,
leading
yes.
into my next question.
Yeah.
So, both of you have lived such full lives into your 70s, flipping houses, exploring the world,
Hmm.
jobs, retirement. Um, what drives you to keep taking these big trips and adventures?
Wow, that's a good question. I mean, basically now I said sometimes you have time and no money or bad health, or you have bad health and time and no money. We retired, and both of us at the time said, we've got the time,
We got the
we've
money.
got the money, and right now we've got the health because it goes downhill as you age. So, and even with the flipping houses, when you commit to do something, we're all in. And you just do what you got to do to get it done. But there's a whole world out there, and there's so much to see and do that you don't want to sit home, even in retirement.
I think obviously you two have been around me enough, but I think that's my biggest preach to every patient that I try to get across is, you live a full life in the sense of, hey, you work all this time and now it's retirement. And I try to tell everybody it's time to, and people look at me crazy, but it's time to speed up, not slow down, because if
Correct.
you get
Yes.
into retirement and then just retire and do nothing. I've seen patients who have literally declined so fast they don't think they know what to do with themselves. So again, you two are the most beautiful example of, hey, we retired, hey, we're living life, and I think you guys are busier than I am, which I love about you two. But you are like the perfect example of what I try and get through to patients of go live your life.
Well,
What's the other option? You've got to go on.
sitting down watching TV.
Oh yeah, I actually thought that I would get involved with soap operas, because I mean, what am I going to do in my retirement? Because I was so busy. And I find that now, I mean, the more you have to do, the more time you find to do it, I think. But now I'm just as busy as I was when I was working, only on now it's on my terms of things that I want to do or things that are fun and
But my life would not been this if it weren't for you, Aaliyah. It
Thank you.
was, um,
she was going downhill.
yeah, fast.
Yeah.
And you said, why don't you get a hole in your head?
No, that was later. That was later.
Yeah. And they
But no,
put the hole in my head, and here I am.
We'll unpack that, Fran, in a minute.
yeah.
But you knew all about what I had. I was falling everywhere. I was investing in push,
Walkers.
thank you, walkers. And I said, I'm looking at all the old people in the nursing homes, and I'm saying, I don't want to do this, but I didn't know there was another way to do things. And you said, this is what you need. And I did the surgery, and I'm grateful to you.
Thank you, Fran. For everybody listening, you and I are going to get into a little bit more detail about that soon, because I kind of want to go down your entire path because there's
Okay.
more to your story than just that. And I think it's really important that everybody kind of gets the full picture of everything that has gone on, because, again, the resilience from both of you and the village it takes to kind of get where you need to go. I think we kind of need to paint that picture for everybody.
Everybody needs
But
a rock like Susan.
listen, all right, great entry into next question, Fran.
Mm-hmm.
How has your sisterly bond shaped the way you two tackle challenges for whatever life throws at you?
It's been since we were children. She's held my hand walking down the stairs. Of course, she dropped stairs a couple of
Yeah,
times.
yeah, I did try to kill her with a can of soup, trying
Yeah.
to feed her. I threw it into the crib, but I digress. No,
Small detail, small
yeah.
detail.
I think what happens is both of us have a different set of skills. So what we do is combine our strengths towards the whole. For example, in house flipping, she's got wonderful design ideas. She can look at something that's there and say, okay, if we take this wall down or move this here or do that, she can do that. My skill is writing the check.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we balance it. But we both have like one mind of where we're going and what we're going to do and the purpose of that part. In our traveling, she loves to research things and find odd places and, odd experiences that are off the norm, you'd find on a regular tour. And then I put it all together and make sure it happens and contact the people and make sure the details are right. So the end result is something great. And we both put our skills into it. You play to your strengths. And that's how we get where we are.
Absolutely. And again, I have the pleasure of watching you two in person do it too. So I mean, you guys speaking about it, it's
But I
It's
have to
beyond.
say, if she says we're doing this, I can't say, but I think, no, we're doing this.
That's on the
So-
house. That's on the house. Because, yeah, that's a whole nother story.
I don't want to go there. Where do you want to go? And
I wanted to go to Antarctica, and she told me I'd be going alone.
oh,
Feel like if we stay on this long enough, some of our accents are going to start to come out. And I feel like at times maybe they need to, and that's okay if we need to like digress. All right. So flipping houses requires physical and mental agility, much like maintaining balance in life. So how do you both stay energized and coordinated for such demanding work? Obviously, yes, you guys can kind of go down that path from a physical standpoint, but for you two, it's a lot more mental.
Yeah, well, when you're all in and you've made a commitment, you've got to focus on getting it done, and whatever that takes, whether it takes, researching new ways to finance things, whether it takes, you got to have I'm flipping, you've got to have the right person to be able to do stuff because we don't have any of that capability of building or,
we have this interesting Polish builder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who, it's my way. I do what I want to do.
Yeah. And he also knows code, which is a great help because I said, why can't you put that there? Because, blah, 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 blah. So
Yeah.
that's important.
He's
But
thrown us off property sometimes.
yeah, he says, yeah, go. He
You
won't
too.
let us do anything. But yeah, you really have to go all in to get it done. And that's what energizes you because you want to get to the next step. You want to finish that, go on to the next project or finish the next trip.
I think this is the last one we're going to do, though. We did 4, right?
We did 4 flips and we're building a house. So I think it's out of our system. But
Is this done? You think you're done? Honest?
yeah, I think we're
actually haven't-
done. And I think
Yeah.
I'm going to simplify. We're trying to get, again, more balance that I know that, and we plan ahead for this. It's already planned that God forbid anything happens to me, I've got to make sure that there is plans in place because I'm the one that handles all the finances that she can handle and she can take care of stuff. So I've got to simplify our lives. Although I like tax write-offs from an LLC, I really do. So I think what we're going to do, I see this last project once we sell it as a springboard to a whole new career, a whole new path
Yeah.
in our
I
life.
don't
And it'll be travel.
It will be travel and owning one house, and that's it.
I don't think I actually ever asked you guys that off camera. So I was interested if you think, yeah, like, okay, we're done.
The what?
If you were done. I don't think I've ever
I
actually
think
asked
we
you that.
are.
Oh, yeah.
I think we are.
Yeah.
If we end up having money, though, our guy has come to us and said, "Look, why don't you be my bank? And in 6 months, I'll give you back your money with interest."
Yeah.
He wants to continue. He's a lot
he's
younger.
younger. He's about 25 years younger than us. So we'll see if that actually works out. But as far as us actually doing it, I think we're done. I mean, we feel young, but on paper, who wants to give a mortgage to a octogenarian? So I think we're done.
Can you tell everybody, if you guys don't mind, just everybody watching this, how old you both are?
I am 77,
75.
5.
You spring chickens, you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go. Can you share one story from travel? I know we talked a little bit about travel that tested your resilience or taught you something new about yourselves.
We were going to Europe, Italy, with a bunch of people.
Yeah, 14 people.
But I,
Developed a health issue and she couldn't fly.
right. So I said, I'm not
So
staying home. So I got on the
So-
QE2.
yeah, we had to be flexible, resilient to make, because said, okay, you can't fly, we'll cancel the trip. But there are 14 people that are in cancellation.
Right.
If we cancel this right now, I said, well, I'm not paying that out.
So I
So
I took the QE2.
Yep.
And took a course in
fencing.
fencing.
Yeah, she took a fencing lesson. And she also
Fair.
stayed overnight in the
Oh yeah, I had a flu.
the medical, because she ended up getting an allergy to the fish sauce. And so this is a good story.
These are all these people in long gowns, the QE2, very British. And I've got a bathrobe on and I'm heading to the
Medical center
medical center.
in slippers, swollen. And she says, what a contrast. So she spent overnight there. So it was a good trip other than that.
Mm.
And we ended up rendezvousing. So we had to be able to be flexible and figure out how to do things. And that's what we did.
Perfect. It's like, hey,
Did
we
you
gotta
ever
go
hear the
stage
QE2
left.
story?
Mm-mm.
Got a what?
We gotta
No,
go
we're not-
stage
we're not-
left and figure it out.
That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
You have to, right, again. And there are more than one ways to get around things. You just have to figure out your way around and be flexible about, nothing's going to be perfect. You have to make some compromises, but you get it done.
This is my rock right here. Susan is my rock because I say, oh, we can't do that. Oh, yes, we can. And she figures
Where
out
there's
a
a
way.
will, there's a way, friend.
That's
We'll
right.
figure it
Spends
out.
spends nights on the computer and comes up with a solution.
I love it.
So,
All right.
well,
we are
you've met
gonna.
her.
I love her. Fran, you know what's crazy to me? Like, obviously, I met you first,
Mhm.
but I didn't really get to know Susan until I opened up the clinic. Because then
Mhm.
Susan started to come hang out, which
Yeah.
is
Right.
crazy because now it's like, hey, let's go out for pizza dinner. Like, that's just the craziest part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, didn't we keep you in business from day one?
100%.
You've been with you since the day you opened the clinic.
Mhm.
You kept me in business and you kept me caffeinated.
There you go.
We even befriended your specialist,
Andrew,
Andrew?
Andrew.
Andrew,
Oh, yeah, we're buddies.
I will give Andrew a shout out. I
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
We love
And
Andrew.
some of your patients too.
Listen, I specifically scheduled people with you so people's days could be made. I'm just saying there is a method to the madness sometimes.
Yep.
She has to learn how to ride a
Buffalo?
no, that's another thing she wants to do.
We talked about that last time.
No, I don't want to go to a
Buffalo.
buffalo range. She no, she got on your machine and then took off.
Oh, yeah, the
Oh.
treadmill.
The treadmill. Oh man, she'd still be going, Fran. I'm like, at what point were we gonna realize?
You notice I didn't run to
treadmills-
her to help her.
Parade? Yeah, no.
Yeah, I said this is
And
fine.
finally I said, she didn't either. And finally I said, if you stop laughing, do you have a Band-Aid?
Literally, I'm like, hop over the bike, scream Susan, shut it off. I'm like,
Yeah,
what is going on? Oh my God.
I'm just
Okay.
doing my thing, and I look and I'm, oh, okay, it's her.
Always stories with us. Always
Yes.
stories. All right, let's jump into how and why I actually know you two. Obviously there's a story with everything. So, Fran, I obviously got to meet you first during COVID. So, we're going on 5 years ago now.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
During your first knee replacement, which again, we know went kind of sideways.
Yeah.
So what I want to ask you specifically, and then we're going to fast forward a little bit, right? So that's how I got to first meet you, and then kind of where life kind of took you.
Hmm.
You were diagnosed with normal pressure hydrocephalus, right? That
Correct.
NPH. What was that moment like for you? And, being so active, how did it change your
Finally,
lifestyle?
I had a diagnosis. So and something that can be fixed. And I didn't know that. I thought it was going to be my swan song, that I was just going to, I'll get going to get one of those things that, the QVC.
Oh yeah, the
So
scooters.
scooters that you ride around. That's what I was going to do. And put a little flower on it. Uh, but
Bedazzled it for you.
yeah, yeah. But you said uh, that it can be fixed. And my sister insisted I go to a doctor. And at first, he didn't want to take me.
Right. He didn't want to do it.
He didn't think I could do it.
But let's back up a minute. She's been diagnosed with also mild dementia,
No, not so mild anymore.
and we thought that that was why she was falling. That was why she was unstable, and we had advanced. I mean, she couldn't balance herself. And we had advanced to adapted devices, meaning either a cane, which she tripped over, so we immediately got rid of that. Using a walker, and more than likely, I was her adaptable device because we always went places together. So we thought that that was the advancement of her dementia. But through persistence and through talking to people like you, we checking ears and vestibular systems and eye systems to make sure that there was not something else going on. So that's what actually precipitated us, going to see a neurologist to find out if there was something wrong. And then we got referred where we finally got the diagnosis. And there's no test for it, no blood test or any of that stuff. It's almost an empirical type of diagnosis that this is what you may have. So that's how we ended up actually getting a diagnosis, which was really great because it now, okay, we got an answer. Let's go on. Let's go move ahead and figure out how we're going to fix that.
The what have I got now?
What, mild dementia?
Yeah.
No, NPH?
No, I have dementia now. And so it takes a while for me to think of things, and I'm not happy about that. And so Susan and I have come up with
Right. We have so many shared experiences that I said to her, draw it or talk about around it.
I just
I end up knowing what you're saying.
Right.
It's almost intuitive because we have the shared experiences. So that makes it easier for her to communicate, what she wants to do.
But she won't let me off leash.
No,
There's a reason for that,
there's a reason. And she doesn't drive anymore.
No, she won't let me drive.
Because it really, you don't think so? Driving is something you overlearn, but
Correct.
because it's almost instinctual, she has lost some of those abilities to make those quick decisions.
And where am I going? I don't know what I'm going. Is this my
Right.
car? That kind of thing.
But that's what led up to the whole NPH thing, because we didn't know what the cause was. And when we finally got that diagnosis, it was great. But then he refused to do the operation. He said she didn't pass the test. She flunked the test. And I said, well, what does she have? If she doesn't have that, he says, I don't know. Because the brain is such a complex part of your body. So, but he says, we're always here for you. Tell you what I'm going to do. We're always here for you. So,
Thanks, Doc.
yeah. So then when we finally talked to him a couple of times, I said, look, he says, well, it's probably going to be, it won't be perfect, but it'll be as good as she was in the hospital when they did an original test. I said, that's a miracle if that happens, because she wasn't falling. She was stable. So
I could dance.
Oh yeah, she could dance.
We know that.
Yeah. And so he said, okay, we're going to do it. And they explained the procedure. And she said, no,
No.
I don't want a hole in my head. It was scary. She couldn't get her head around that. I mean, we've always said, oh, you got a hole in your head. Now she really would have one. Um, but then she took a horrendous fall and she said, I've got to get this done. So we went back to him and he agreed finally to do it.
And you came to visit me and, talk to me about that. So,
Yeah. So we did. That's what it was. It was persistence in trying to find a diagnosis. And the same thing with her knee that had 3 operations on the same knee. It is the persistence, and you know what your body feels, So I would say, if you think something's wrong with you, find a doctor that
I'm not happy
you know.
with this thing. I'm not happy with
Dementia.
dementia.
Fran,
Yeah,
you
not
find
at
me
all.
somebody that is.
Yeah, that's right. That's
It
right.
might come in handy down the road,
Mm.
maybe
yeah.
at some
Oh,
point.
she always says to me, she says, I'm sorry, I didn't remember that I have dementia. I said,
See, use it to
pull
your
that
advantage.
card on me,
Use it to
So
your advantage.
The other day we were going to go to Target. Target?
Yeah.
And they have the big
red
red
balls
balls.
in front of their,
I couldn't get the word Target out of my thing. She said, well, where do you want to go? And I went,
the big red ball. And I knew exactly where she wanted to go.
Perfect.
So that's how it
It's
works.
context clues. She's making your brain also work, Susan. See, now
Yes.
we're
Oh,
we're
yes,
gonna
she is.
reverse the roles here.
Yeah.
Perfect. She's
Yeah,
gonna keep you
exactly.
sharp.
Yeah.
So, Susan,
Mm-hmm.
specifically to you, as her sister, I know this, but can you tell everybody how you supported her through her NPH diagnosis? And what was it like to see her face this challenge?
Well, I bullied her.
I believe her.
No, I kept saying, I realized that there was no other option. But it was her body, her head, and I had to at least have the respect of that. She had to buy into it because if she went into it with a negative attitude, that is not conducive to healing. So, but I supported her saying, okay, we'll deal with it. That if you don't want to have it done, we'll deal with it. And then she got progressively worse. In fact, we had a therapist that was coming in after her discharge, and before the therapist came in, she took a fall and went back and hit her head on our floor,
Yeah.
which ended up no therapy visit. We had to go to the hospital so to make sure she didn't get a concussion. And she looks at me and she says, I think I want to have this done. I said, perfect. So, I take care of all the medical stuff. I support her in that things that she can't do for herself. I'm her advocate. And I make sure her pills are on time, that she takes them, and we go over the pills and everything together. And it was really a blessing. She went through the operation well. She came home and she was walking perfectly. It was fine. So,
I should throw out
well, no, the walkers, I don't
The
think so,
walkers,
because
no?
Throw them out, she says.
no. I mean, we have a transfer chair, which some lady in our had
You
some
taking
kind
it?
of operation on her hip or knee or whatever, and she was hobbling in. I said, "Don't go anywhere." I came down, brought her the transfer chair. I said, "We have Lourdes in our apartment. You bring down the transfer
Yeah.
chair," and she used it. So
You
we're
could
not
start a
getting rid
business
of
with
any of
that.
our adaptive devices.
No, we're going to
No.
keep them.
Yes,
Keep them right
I
now.
may hire myself out as an adaptive device, but
That's what here, trial my adaptive device
yes,
before you buy
exactly.
it. And
Exactly.
all right, Fran, back to you.
Yes, sir, ma'am.
Obviously, this is when we first met. So you went through a tough experience with your knee replacement that was measured incorrectly, causing pain for over a year. Can you walk us through what that experience was like and how did you keep advocating for
Which
yourself?
pain now? My back pain?
No,
My
no,
knee
Your
pain?
knee
the knee pain,
pain.
the original
Oh,
knee.
the knee pain.
Since when do you have, oh no, I do know you have back pain. Knee
Yeah.
pain though.
I
did
still
know
have that, but I went to a doctor and they gave a shot and I got to get another one. My knee pain has been still bothering me. And I went to another doctor and he said, well, this is how it is. And um,
Meloxicam. Take something for the pain.
right. And I don't want to do that. I'm still looking into another way to go to get that fixed for Yeah. I
And
think I'm
Fran,
blanking out again.
Yeah, but the good thing about this is that, um, you know, she had this problem with her knee, and the problem was exacerbated by her falling all the time and falling on her knee,
on the knee.
on
Yep.
the knee. So I never knew if the pain was real, if the pain was, you know, bruising or whatever. But the beauty part of the third time being the charm,
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
3 times on
three
that
times,
knee.
yeah, we switched doctors.
3.
And then each time post operation, we went to see Aaliyah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a package deal. You get a surgery, you go see Aaliyah. But the third time, it's now a stable knee, fixed. The parts are in right. There's no undersizing,
But the pain is
oversizing.
still there.
But she still has residual pain, which now is inflammation and tendon connections. And those we're going to be helping, you know, again, by therapy and by, you know, taking some anti-inflammatories. But she's still looking for relief from that pain. So that's going to be our next, you know, I think it's going to be ongoing. But if you ask her, is the pain as intense as it was 5 years ago?
No,
No,
but it's still there.
it's still there. So that's an improvement.
Right.
You got to take
I
baby
mean,
It's
steps.
the guy that's on the golf course and he has
Oh, Lee Trevino.
Lee Trevino,
Yeah,
and he has
he wants to go to his doctor. So I got to find
Sign her up.
Lee Trevino's doctor. I guess so I got to
Fran.
watch the commercial again.
Write him a letter.
yeah.
Write him a letter. Fran, I remember when I was obviously the first time I met you after the knee replacement. And I remember when I first met your knee, like it's something that will stick with me forever. You know, a knee replacement is supposed to be super stiff and tight. And I mean, you came to me without really having any therapy and you could fully bend that knee, you know, and that was like immediately after. Fran, do you remember, did you get sick at therapy?
Did I get sick at
Yes,
therapy?
you did.
Yeah, like it's just coming back to me.
What did I have?
No, you threw up.
You threw up.
Oh, that's right, I did.
Just a minute,
You
please.
remember?
Oh, that's right.
She knows.
It was your other place.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
It was when I was still working
I don't
for
know
the
why.
other company. I think it was a pain med thing. I think it was like you took a pain med on an empty stomach and we kind of
Maybe.
came to the
We'll
consensus.
go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't think it was a physical therapist manipulating your knee.
No.
It must have been the pain meds.
It couldn't have been the manipulation. There was no.
Nothing.
right.
There was no resistance. It was actually working.
Fran, also,
Yes,
do you
ma'am.
remember somebody
Yeah.
told you to walk with walking sticks the day you came in walking with
Yes.
walking? And I go, literally, you didn't even make it to the table. And I was like, who
Take those, don't go.
told you
I had
to
walking
walk with
sticks.
those?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like,
If she falls
absolutely
with a
not.
cane, a double cane is not going to be any help.
I'm like, do you know how much coordination it takes to walk with walking sticks? Oh man, everything's coming back to me. Okay, moving on. And your physical therapist, I don't know who that is, encouraged you to keep seeking answers for your knee pain.
My
How
therapist
did
Encouraged you to seek answers for your knee pain.
what role did persistence play in that? Obviously, you and Susan have talked about persistence with the NPH, getting answers. This question's directly for your knee.
Well, I have to get a hold of Lee Trevino, and try to see. I guess there's an injection that you spray into the.
We don't need to talk about that because we haven't talked to Lee yet. So that's okay. What she's asking basically, she's having a moment.
It's okay.
But what it encouraged her and what she was said to me when she came back from this is that it's not just me. Somebody else who has experience knows what I'm going through and understands what I'm going through. And she says, and we gotta follow up and find someone else to help me. That kind of reassurance. Sometimes you say, oh, I'm a hypochondriac, it's all in my head. To get a third-party validation that what I'm feeling is real and not right, was all important in letting giving and getting us to pursue other avenues
Mhm.
because you know, I would bound to say, because her pain threshold is that of a gnat. So I would say, oh yeah, well, it's okay, Fran, it's not too bad. We'll take more pills. But when you get someone who should know how something goes after surgery, that is invaluable. It just validates you and push and gives you energy to seek answers. So that's very important.
And I'm meeting with Lee Trevino tonight.
Yes. But it's very important that you get that kind of support from a physical therapist, not just, okay, come in, do your exercises, play with that ball, do this. No, I mean, there was a personalization that you would give to the patient to say, there's something wrong. I think you ought to call your doctor.
Mm-hmm.
That's invaluable in getting better and
Yeah.
getting answers.
And this is when I had opened the clinic at this point. And I remember sitting with you, Fran, and I, you know, just regarding your knee replacement, I remember us having a conversation and you were like, Leah, I'm just like at my wit's end. Like I'm done with not getting answers. Nobody outside of like me and Susan were listening to you. Like we kept sending you back to the doctor, and I will forever remember us having this conversation because I remember saying to you, like, Fran, you know your body better than anybody else. You
Mhm.
live in it 24/7. If you know something is wrong, don't stop until you get that answer. And finally,
Right.
we got someone to actually that could help, obviously, other than Susan and I listening to you, to actually give
But
you an answer.
it's that validation, that knowledge that someone knows more than we do about how the body works as far as muscles and whatever, saying this is a problem, get help. So that really is important and that really helps. And that's why you should get to know your PT person. You shouldn't just make an appointment, walk in and, go do on the treadmill or just sit around. There should be interaction so that you can discuss, you know, some of these PT places that you go to, you're a number
Mm.
and they point you in one position and whatever. You don't really get to interact with your PT person. That's also a benefit of Oasis and dealing with someone who has the attitude that the patient should interact with the therapist. So you get to know each other, and that's very important. And that's one of the things we liked about Oasis and dealing with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. All right, this question is to both of you.
Mm.
As
She'll grab it
sisters,
though. She'll
what?
grab it from me. But go ahead. It's for the both of you.
I can't. So, to both of you, as sisters, how have you leaned on each other to navigate these health challenges while still trying to live your life,
As
adventurous
sisters, how
as it
what?
may?
How have we navigated all these health issues and still go on trips and live our life and all that other kind of stuff?
We just do. There's nobody else in our family. We
That's
don't
it.
have anybody else. We don't even have cousins. We don't have anything. So I rely on her.
Yeah.
And
We really have, we lean on each other. When I was sick with my hip, not sick, but I had to have a dual hip replacement. She was there. Okay. We're there for each other
With
because, yes, but that's all we really have. So we have to make it work.
mm,
And we do. We can compromise. I mean, if you knew us when we were much, much younger, she'd get third-degree burns from being out in the sun. I'd get third-degree fluorescent light burns because I wouldn't go out of the office in the outdoors. And we have actually modified and compromised and come together so that we can still do things that I want and things that she does, that she
Mhm.
wants to do. So we found a way to work together because we have to. And we want to, we just have to. That's how we roll.
Yeah, I never get that impression from either of you since the day I met you of a have to. You guys, you guys feed off of each other like it's like nobody I've ever seen in the best way possible.
mhm.
Yeah. You should sell
Um,
tickets to our comic routine.
That's your next gig,
Yeah,
literal
you think
gig.
that's our next gig? I think that's our
I
next
do.
gig.
I was living in Indianapolis at the time, and I said to Susan, come out and visit me because I was working for Scott's Fertilizer. And I said to her, but bring all your sweaters and blouses. And she says, what? I said, just bring them all, bring them all. Well, there was a big sale there in, it was
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
Yeah, where she lived was like not the cleaners, 99 cents to do each sweater.
Yeah. So I said, bring your sweaters.
So I came home with clean clothes. Most people come home with dirty clothes. I came home with clean clothes, folded and fluffed.
Perfect. Best of both worlds. I love it. Oh my gosh. So you both know, obviously, my journey of where Oasis has taken me to now creating what I know as the Balance Blueprint. And obviously balance and falls and dizziness are near and dear to my heart. You know, Fran and Susan, since day one, all of us have kind of focused on balance for the both of you as well. So I just kind of want to put that tidbit out there because we're going to kind of go into, obviously, nothing more than could talk to you two forever, but I just kind of wanted you on here to tell your story, and what people are capable of doing. You know, I always when my patients come in and they're like, well, I'm old, I'm like, that's just a number. Like, you are as old as you think you are. Like, go do things. So
Yeah,
I
but I'm
think
old. Let's be
you're
real.
not old. You are not old. Um, you know, so I think for nothing else, other than for you guys just be an inspiring story, both of you in your mid to late
Well, you
70s and
inspire
what
me. I have to say that. I've never met
thank you.
anyone like you, you know?
Thank you, Fran. Fran, people,
Should
some
we
people say
add
it's a
that?
good and a bad thing.
Should we add that you first thought that you were from some kind of Nazi camp?
Yeah, that's what you called me.
Oh my God, that
That's what you called.
therapist. Oh my God.
I still can't do the walk between
The cones?
cones.
Oh, the cones. That's another story.
That's what we have to perfect.
Hmm.
So obviously, you know, everything that Fran, you have been through, and then Susan, obviously you and I have worked on some balance stuff for you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Balance Blueprint's all about helping people manage dizziness and balance issues, like those caused by NPH or faulty knee replacements that can't get good proprioceptive feedback. So, how has physical therapy or balance focused care helped you stay active and independent and and this could go to both of you and
Has
helped
what?
you both?
Help me
I know,
balance.
sorry, Fran.
Balance. Oh, balance? Oh my God.
Balance.
I
How
can
has it helped
I
you?
can trip over anything and I don't fall anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's
Go ahead. Fran, your falls too, I think this is an important thing for people to know. Your falls that were happening because of your NPH were very unique. It was more of like a slide, like we're kind of sliding into the earth versus how people actually kind of go over. I know when Susan was talking about like your last big fall, like that was the one that was like, hey, this is getting
Philadelphia?
pretty
No,
serious.
that wasn't Philadelphia. That was just before you had the operation.
Oh, okay. Because we went to Philadelphia for the flower show and I couldn't get 3 feet in front of me. So I rented a scooter.
Yeah,
Got around.
you got through it though.
One of these.
But I think even before the NPH diagnosis, before we actually knew that, and dealing with the knee, yeah, her balance was off, but the issue is through physical therapy, we learned adaptive techniques.
Mhm.
We kept her muscle tone strong. Yeah, so that, yeah, you had falls, but you were able to compensate and you didn't just say, okay, I'm going to sit down and do nothing because I fall too much. I'm going to sit there. And that's just a perpetual curve because now your muscles aren't being activated.
That's where you come in. You pick me up when I
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's
know
my
what?
physical routine. Picking her up is
Yeah.
actually working.
Pick it. That's your routine.
Yeah.
But
But no, I think
Susan,
that makes the difference. That makes the
to
difference.
your point too, right? Like I have people who get on this train, I shouldn't say train, but like this hamster wheel of falling, getting up. And at some point, a fall leads to something really bad,
Correct.
and I mean, the positive part, I want to say the positive part is that Fran kept doing therapy and rehab to get her stronger every time.
Hmm.
And I will say, like, we are very fortunate that through all this, like, Fran never fractured anything
No,
realistically from a
No,
hip standpoint. You know
no.
what? Like, I mean, that's the beauty of it, where then it was like a fall led to something a lot more
Well, there's also
catastrophic.
padding. We have lots of padding in the areas that might be injured. Um, but no, I mean, yeah, but her weight, the way she falls, usually she just kind of melts. Like, what's his name? Elmo? No, who's the guy in Freeze? The little snowman.
Oh, from Disney?
Fritz? Yeah, whatever his name is. You know how he melts?
Oh,
Olaf. She just falls like Olaf melts.
and I remember when I say, pick me up.
She fell one time. She tripped, and she was going into a deli to buy lunch. She tripped. I got her up. She says, "No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'll go in." And she's ordering lunch, and the guy says to her, "Lady, you got some blood on your face. Did you?" She said, "Yeah, I'll take care of it." But
Fran,
you have to take them in stride, because when they happen, and they can happen. And the other thing she did that we noticed was picking up speed. She had no way to stop picking up speed, and
Yeah.
Walk, and then I get faster.
yeah, faster. And when you stop her, she spins because she's got this momentum in her. So
God,
yeah,
she did that.
she
I
does do that.
forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fran,
Yeah.
I think he'll appreciate this because he's going to edit this. Can we call out my husband in the story of going to Flowers and what his
Oh,
one job was?
absolutely.
Standing, talking to your husband, just standing there, and all of a sudden, I fell.
Yeah, he had one job.
He had one job, was to
Fran,
pick me up.
Yeah.
Fran, I gave him one job. I said, if you're going to go with Fran, your one job is you do not let her fall.
And
And then I get a text message, Fran fell. I go,
I wasn't going
have
anywhere. I
you
just fell
failed
straight.
you failed the mission, man. The
Yes,
mission
but did
has
he
failed.
explain how she fell to you?
He said, yes, he said, I quote, Aaliyah, you have nothing to worry about. The way she falls, she's never going to hurt herself. She literally just slides into her fall.
Well, he wasn't there for the big falls, but
Correct.
yeah, but she generally just kind of melts like Olaf.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Snowman. Okay, Fran, question specifically for you. So, knowing what you know now, knowing your diagnosis and kind of what you went through, what advice would you give someone newly diagnosed with NPH or dealing with similar balance struggles? What advice would you give?
What is what?
What advice would you give?
Oh, advice. I advise getting okay, there goes my brain. A diagnosis, and to have somebody back up like you do. That is, say that this is, you're not allowed, I don't think, to say, go get this, go get,
Can't
you
like
can't,
write it,
right.
but I can strongly suggest
Yes.
things.
Strongly suggest.
Yeah. I mean, from her experience, first of all, try and get a diagnosis. Go to enough doctors that you finally get an answer.
Mm.
And would you recommend the surgery if it's offered?
Yeah, but he won't do it. He didn't want to do it.
Well, yeah, but he ended up doing it.
Yeah.
And was the surgery? I mean, it's a big decision because you worry about dealing with the brain and everything. But
Right.
But how was the actual experience? Was it when you got out? I mean, did you feel
Immediate relief of walking
Yeah.
and
It
standing.
was like nothing had happened.
Mm.
Yeah.
So if they get that, don't be afraid of that diagnosis. I mean, Billy Joel, you're in good company.
Yeah, he's got
You
it
know,
too.
But don't be afraid of that diagnosis because there is something that you can do.
I'm
and-
not happy with the dementia though, but
Well, I can't
I-
fix that. Okay, but I mean, it's important
she won't
that
let me drive.
no, it's important that I think when you do this is that falling is not normal.
No.
Falling and having balance issues or being dizzy, That's not a normal thing. So find out if you have any kind of a health issue that's causing all of this. It's not normal. So make sure you investigate what needs to be to happen to fix that problem.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fran, I had a patient. I actually had a patient in New Jersey, and they tried to diagnose him with Parkinson's, and it just wasn't adding up to me either. It just the way the explanation was going, um, and he wasn't, Parkinson's tends to be very textbook nine
Mm-hmm.
times out of 10, if it is strictly Parkinson's. And lo and behold, like he kept going, and same thing with his wife, to get a diagnosis, and he actually ended up having NPH, had a shunt placed just like you, and literally like switch of a flip was 10 times
It's
better.
amazing. It's an amazing.
Did he lose his hair too, like I did? Go white?
He didn't have hair, Fran. Fran, let's talk about that. He didn't have hair, one. Two, tell the people that are watching, because we all love your new hair color because of that.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm getting used to it. I like it. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, she had to have some of her hair shaved. Of course, when they were doing the brain surgery. So like Igor, okay, that's what she looked like. Half her hair was here. There was no hair. Finally, she said, "Get rid of the whole thing." And when you have surgery like that, you don't want to take any chance of chemicals getting into you. She says, "I'm going gray," and it wasn't a far journey.
I didn't know I was going white.
No, but
I
it
thought I was
wasn't
only
a far
going gray.
journey for her to go gray, because we cut her hair very, very short, and of course we wear our hair short. So yeah, that's also a result of the surgery.
Most people seem to like it though.
Yeah, but it's not. Well, it won't happen to everybody. It's only those people that want to say, "I don't want to color it anymore." So if you have hair, it's not a problem.
All right, Susan, this is to you. As
Yes.
someone who's seen your journey, your sister's journey, up close and personal, obviously, how do you think like programs like, obviously, yes, the Balance Blueprint is fairly new, but I've been treating people obviously with balance issues for a very long time, can make a difference for people living with balance or dizziness issues?
Well, here's what I'm saying. Balance is a key component to living an independent life. Because what happens is if you don't have balance, you start to, have to use adaptive devices. You will stop going places because you don't feel safe.
Walk, fall. Walk,
Yeah, you don't feel safe, and you're going to start to isolate yourself in your home. So now you're going to have, again, mental issues. So the importance of balance is cannot be understated. And a balance program is something that you should really strive for every day, not just physically, but in your life. But, your balance blueprint is a great way to deal with mobility and deal with balance issues, because what will come out of that is you will find where your balance problem starts. Okay. You'll find out through dealing with a knowledgeable therapist. First of all, it'll keep your muscles strong so that when you do use them, they'll respond. They'll be able to work. But you'll be able to detect why. You'll decide whether it's
this from the woman, by the way, who gave up skiing because
well, I fell on my I fell on my first ski. I couldn't stop. I went up a hill and but no, what I'm saying is that it will, by doing balance like this, you will find out first of all your limits, okay, and then you can find out a knowledgeable therapist will be able to tell you where your problem is, and that's why it's important to get a handle on your balance and mobility issues.
And it's one thing like I'm trying to stress and get out there more of, you actually start to lose your balance around age 35 to 40. Yeah. Yeah. The issue being is, we as therapists or people who work with balance don't start to see people until it's noticeably an issue. But you really do start to lose those fine-tuning balance systems from 35 to 40. So that's where I'm trying to push, like, hey, we actually need to really start honing in on training balance a lot earlier. So then by 50, 60, 70, we're rocking and rolling still, and we're not falling all over the place. Obviously, Fran, yes, you had a little side note of things that obviously affected your balance, but if people can help it, starting to work on that earlier is what we're
Mhm.
trying to get people to do.
Well, when you get them young, when it starts to, if they're practicing their balance young, or when they get to the age when it really starts to disappear, it won't be as severe, and may not even happen, because if they consistently do their balance exercises, and you don't even think of balance. You get up, you walk, you go, or maybe you trip occasionally or whatever. But you don't think about it until it doesn't work. And then it's almost too late, because some of the damage that's been done by the problems with vestibular and your hearing and whatever else, they're gone. Sometimes you cannot get those back. Vestibular. Sometimes you
Got
can't
it.
even get, no, you can't even get those back. So it's better to start young.
Right. Absolutely. Um, so the Balance Blueprint emphasizes resilience and tailored care. Obviously, you two know me
Mhm.
from a personal and professional level. Um, Much like your approach of house flipping and travel. So, can you draw any parallels between your life philosophy and the principles of this program?
The principles on this program?
Right. The principles, resilience and tailored care,
And
etc.
tailored care.
And can we draw any parallels to our life philosophy? Well, balance in life is always something you have to do. You have to make time for the things that are important and prioritize. And you have to be, flexible, which is what balance is, because balance is not static. Do you know they have 5 gyro systems in the segways, okay, to compensate for everything. So balance
Which
is
we
not,
also took
yeah,
in
but
California,
yeah,
zipping around.
but balance is not static. So you have to, even in life, you need balance, because your life is not one even plane. There are ups, there are downs, joy, sorrow, all of this. Your life is a moving target. It doesn't stay static either. So that's where I see as a parallel. And that's why they say you have to have balance in life in what you do, because it's constantly changing, and you have to be able to adapt to that.
Yep. Susan,
Ditto.
fire answer. Fire. So this is to both of you. You both have to answer this. If you could share one lesson from your experiences in life, whether health challenges or adventures, with people struggling with balance issues, what would it be?
If I could do,
If you can tell people struggling with balance issues one thing, what would it be?
get a diagnosis. In other words, and continue on and get surgery.
Find the
Or
cause.
Find the cause, yeah. Because I
Okay.
mean, I trip over something, no, fine, but you really do have to say, I'm doing it too many times. There must be something else going on. And she's in home researching as to what's going on. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I got a cart,
Gotta
And my answer would be to trust yourself. When you
Yep.
feel something is wrong or something's not right, um, reflect on it and get help with it, because you know what your everyday life is like. If what you did last week you can't do now, that there's been a change. So I would think, trust yourself and trust your inner feelings about your health.
That resonates a lot with me, especially after I got off. I think I had 8 calls yesterday, specifically with people with the Balance Blueprint. And I have to tell you, if not all of them were saying to me, they kind of got the runaround with going to see doctors.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them were telling me, hey, Aaliyah, everybody just trying to tell me it's anxiety and I'm not dizzy.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm going back and telling these people, hey, you actually have a balance problem issue. This isn't just anxiety. It's a, hey, I'm getting dizzy, which is increasing my anxiousness,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's
Right.
not the other way around. And with what you two just said, I'm constantly trying to push that of like, you know yourself,
That's right.
right? If you know something's off, just continue to try and get that answer
That's right.
for sure.
You got it.
All right,
And
let's
we
wrap
went to the
this.
right person going to you.
Let's wrap this baby up.
Okay.
So, looking back on your journey together, what's one thing you're most grateful for in your sisterly partnership?
Did you hear her?
What this is?
What are you most grateful for in our sister?
By the way, I'm also doing hearing aids.
Yeah.
You said I'm not getting old? Bullshit.
You'll have to edit that one out. Or
That's fine.
put asterisks. But the question was, what do you value most, or what are you most grateful for in our sisterly partnership?
Oh my God, just having you.
Now that's it, each other. It's
Yeah.
the same answer.
Yeah.
You know,
I love
that's
that.
again, we all bring our different strengths and different attitudes to things, but you got to respect each other. And you know, I'm grateful for her, and you know,
My life couldn't be good without you.
that's what we share, and that's the
Can
most
we get
important thing.
married, two of us?
No, we can't. I checked that because I wanted to put her on. I wanted to put her on insurance. You know, on my insurance. I said you should be able to put anyone you want because I'm paying for it. And the state of Connecticut said no. You can only add someone who you would be able to be married to,
Interesting.
significant other or whatever. Yeah,
You're significant than other.
I know, but I couldn't legally marry you.
Oh,
I wouldn't want. Well, because she says I have. She always said to me, if we were married, I would divorce you because I spend so much time
on the computer.
with my Institute for Learning and Retirement, the other thing that I'm executive vice president for and registrar.
Yeah.
He said, if we were married, I'd divorce you. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't marry her anyway. So
that answers that question.
that answers that question.
So I didn't realize that we kind of already answered
You're
this next
breaking
question
up,
a little
by the
bit.
way.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
a little.
Okay. So we
Yeah.
kind of
But you're
already
freezing
answered this.
again. That's okay. Keep talking.
Okay. We answered this question a little bit in the beginning. So I'm gonna ask you something similar, but what are you two most excited about next for in life?
Selling the house that we're building. It's been a long, long journey, but I think that that's going to be the springboard to whatever happens next in our future. You know, I'm looking forward to you know, doing new things, a new chapter, and you know, keeping an open mind, and because there's a big whole world out there, and that's what I'm looking forward to, is just experiencing it, doing as much as we can for as long as we can.
Before we got you to do this podcast, we were sitting here thinking about where are we going next on trip. And we're throwing things out like you want to go to Antarctica, you want to go this, you want to go that.
So I have a bucket list of places I want to go, and I said, you know, 'cause I've never seen Niagara Falls.
No, we have never.
I'd like to go to San
Surprised by
Antonio
that.
and see the Alamo. The Alamo's probably about this big, but I'd like to go and see it and ride down the San, you know, simple things that don't take a lot of time that you can do in a weekend, a long weekend. So, you know,
But I'm not doing the Buffalo Run.
all right. We'll talk about that.
Final words of wisdom for anybody that's going to end up listening to this that you guys would give.
Live your life.
Yeah.
Live your life. And if you come across problems in your life that are undiagnosed, that can be fixed, fix them. Get the help you need and fix them. And
We don't have children, so we have the ability to do whatever and whenever.
you
If
know,
we had children, we could be, you know, worrying about them, taking care of their kids, and you know, so we're lucky.
yeah. And their pets, probably be grand dogs, you know, grandma
Grand
dogs,
dog.
and dogs. But no, just, you know, stay open to it's coming forward, and be positive about your life. So there's a lot of things that you don't even know what are going to happen in your life. Have faith, and you know, go forward.
We
Can't
have-
stay in the past, and
Right.
learn how to use your phone and your computer. You know,
Yeah,
because
that's where we're going.
that's where, unfortunately, that's where we're going. We had one guy that refuses to pay by credit card for his courses because he said, I don't trust the credit card companies. But he says, I'll give you a check. I said, do you realize that your check is cleared through credit card companies? There is no
Correct.
way to avoid it.
Yeah.
You know, and just keep learning. You got to be active. You can't just sit and do nothing. So join the senior center, take classes, do a whole bunch of stuff to make your life a lot more fulfilling.
Being social too. I find as my patients get
Very.
older, they lose that aspect. And I think,
I've lost some
and
of it.
again, well, yeah, Fran, I mean, that is something like Susan and I definitely talked about,
Yeah.
as far as getting you out and doing things and seeing different things,
Mhm.
because
Well, that's
it
where we're
also
going for
works.
pizza. We're going for pizza.
Oh, okay. Food. I go out for food.
Yes, yes.
Um,
That
yeah,
food will
me
work,
too.
you know?
Me too. You pull me out for food, I'm a foodie.
There you go.
I cannot thank you both enough for your time, because I, when I asked you both if you would do this, there's no better two or a better hour that I could have spent.
Oh,
Oh,
Um,
thank
thank
you.
you.
honestly, I love you both from the bottom of my
Well,
heart,
we love you
and
Well,
too.
I hope this, you know, this little chat is what you wanted to get out of this, and, you
yes,
know,
yeah, it
hope
was
it
it
works.
was everything and more. There's some comedy, which is perfect.
Some tragedies.
The tragedy. And I just, again, I can't thank you both for this, for our friendship, and I'm very grateful for both of you in my life.
Well,
So,
Back at you,
thank
my
you,
dear.
thank you.
And to
So
Nick,
thank you,
too.
yeah. Thank you again, and I will see you two for a pizza date in about 2 weeks.
yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Sounds
good.
All
good.
right. Have a great
Take
night.
care.
Okay, dear.
Bye.
Bye.